Superstars and spectators, you are welcome to the latest edition of Sports Store on Enterprise Television. We are live and ready to give you all the trendy sports stories happening today. I'm Josh Kirkoli, and here is our package for the day. The Chan Eagles conclude first phase of training in Abuja ahead of Ghana qualifier. In Formula 1, Brazilian Grand Prix set to return to Sao Paulo. New Man United manager Ruben Amorim states his reason for taking the Man United job. And we take a preview of the big club football games, including the super clash between Manchester United and Chelsea. Let's take a short break on Sports Store. When we return, we will dive deeper into our package for the day. Welcome back to Sports Store on Enterprise Television, and let's start up with the fact that the Chan Eagles, the home-based Eagles, have returned to their base ahead of the MPFL that will be kicking off this weekend. The home-based Eagles first came to Abuja this particular week to participate in the first phase of training for the African Nations qualifiers against Ghana. The home-based Eagles have commenced camping ahead of their 2025 African Nations Championship qualifier against Ghana. The players had their first training session of the FIFA Goal Project pitch in Abuja, and they underwent light physical training and tactical drills as they geared up for the crucial encounter. Head coach Austin Eguavon last week summoned 35 players to the camp for the qualifier, and the players who have since returned back to their bases for the NBFL games this weekend will regroup back in Abuja next week for more training and preparations for the Chan qualifier against perennial rivals Ghana. Ghana will host Nigeria in the first leg between 20th to 22nd December 2024, while the return leg will hold in Nigeria a week later. The winner over two legs will earn a slot at the Chan 2025, which will be co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. The Chan is set aside for footballers plying their trade in the country's domestic league. In Formula 1, the Brazilian Grand Prix, a fan favorite and one of the most entertaining and interesting and iconic races on the Formula 1 calendar, is set to take place at the Autodromo José Carlos Parche in Sao Paulo. The 2024 edition of the Brazilian Grand Prix promises to be an exhilarating event with the world's top drivers and teams battling out for valuable championship points. The Interlagos circuit, known for its challenging layout and unpredictable weather conditions, always delivers thrilling racing action. Last year's winner, championship leader and defending drivers champion Dutchman Max Verstappen will look to manage the rot at Red Bull as he is set to ward off rival Lando Norris and avoid another controversial time penalty, while Ferrari, the Scuderia, will seek to add a third consecutive race weekend win in their quest to usurp McLaren, who lead the constructors standing via 29 points. And with the drivers and constructors championships potentially hanging in the balance, the Brazilian Grand Prix is shaping up to be an unforgettable event to cap off a triple header of F1 races from Texas to Mexico City and to Sao Paulo, where Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc are also looking to, take off some points from the winning duo of Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Portuguese manager Ruben Amorim has officially stated his reasons for taking the reins at Manchester United, succeeding Erik ten Hag. The Portuguese manager's move from Sporting was highly anticipated, and he's now ready to tackle the challenge. Amorim, who made history at Sporting by winning 2 league titles and 3 League Cup titles, has said that he seeks a new level of success, believing that he needs to step forward and take a challenge challenge himself in his career, even if it means leaving a stable role to facing uncertainty at the Old Trafford job. Amorim is willing to take the risk, and he is so self-assured that he will crucially be able to handle the pressure at Manchester United and steer Man United into the future. And at Manchester United, Amorim will face new challenges, but his past experiences and success at Braga and Sporting Lisbon suggest he's well equipped to handle the team. And with a significant salary increase and a 2.5-year deal, Amorim is committed to restoring Manchester United's glory days back to Old Trafford. The world of football watching with anticipation as Amorim will kickstart his tenure at Old Trafford after the November international break. Still staying in Old Trafford will set the stage for a thrilling Premier League clash. Not just even a thrilling Premier League clash. The biggest match this weekend happens in Old Trafford as Manchester United, led by interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy, faces Chelsea. Van Nistelrooy, tasked with stabilizing the ship, seeks a statement win against Chelsea to continue Man United's morale and momentum following the dismissal of Erik ten Hag. Chelsea, aiming to bounce back from the EFL Cup loss to Newcastle, will test United's resolve and Van Nistelrooy's tactical acumen. The Dutch legend in his temporary stint must rally his troops and exploit Chelsea's weaknesses. I'm going to be bringing on a man who's going to be joining us to discuss this topic, and joining us virtually I have Adeyemi Oluwatosin, a premium sports analyst who delivers on the microphone with such grace that I always say he delivers with such grace that makes midwives jealous. He's also a sports presenter, podcaster, media expert, and a razor-sharp commentator. Tosin, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here once again.
Definitely. So yeah, with Old Trafford set to witness a very cagey, supersonic game between Chelsea and United. The last time these two teams faced off was 4-3 at Stamford Bridge. Cole Palmer scoring all 4 goals in that game. So yes, this is still Ruud van Nistelrooy's team for the time being, but can Ruud van Nistelrooy inspire Manchester United to victory, or will Chelsea spoil the party?
Yes, I think they can, and I also feel like now that the uncertainty in the air around the United dressing room has been lifted with Ruben Amorim coming in, it definitely would give the players some certain level of boost to actually go out there on the Old Trafford pitch and do the business against Chelsea. So I actually see United actually taking this one by the horn and actually taking Chelsea by surprise. Ruud van Nistelrooy or whoever is going to be on the bench, it doesn't matter. United have a new spring in their steps. They've got their future set out, and definitely there's nowhere other place to go right now than up.
Okay, so on another fixture, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has claimed that his team is in trouble due to an injury crisis, despite having top players like Ruben Dias, John Stones, and Erling Haaland available. The defending champions have added Manuel Akanji and Savinho to their lengthy injury list, with Dias struggling after the Carabao Cup loss to Spurs. Guardiola says this is the worst injury crisis he's experienced in his 9 years at City, as City have 13 of his first team players away, or rather, he said that he has only 13 of his first team players available for the game this weekend. Is Guardiola capping? Is Guardiola being honest? Or, he's just, trying to play mind games as usual? Or can City perhaps really, survive the turmoil of having just 13 players to select? That's for Pep Guardiola.
All right, so at the start of the season, I remember having a discussion on air where I talked about the lengthy new calendar and how the new calendar would surprisingly surprise you that will be ending in June. This new football season will end in June with I think the FIFA World Club Cup coming up. So
it didn't go for that. It didn't go for that with the Club World Cup as well.
Yeah, I think they will go further with that. I think FIFA will go further with that. But it does tap into the fears that Guardiola is actually talking about, having a worst injury crisis. But then again, we have to also remember that this City side have not just been champions last season. They've been champions 4 times consecutively. And when you look at the squad option on the bench, you have players like Rodri missing, and then you're replacing those kind of players with your fourth base midfielder in Kovacic, or you have replacements like Matheus Nunes, and then you understand the depth quality that City has. So I do feel like, yes, Guardiola might be missing a few quality players, but definitely he still has the ingredients to take any team, any day in the Premier League, wherever he may be.
Definitely. So do you think that FIFA should perhaps, curb some games, because these players, I mean, they are being paid the mega bucks. If I was in their shoes, I mean, we've done jobs that we virtually work for 7 days a week. So yeah. I mean, if I was this footballer, if I was Erling Haaland, I would not complain, because I'm being paid mega bucks to play football, sport that I love. And if you look at it, they virtually just play for 5 days a week, because you have a rest day. They rested on Thursday after the EFL Cup, just light training, maybe physical, fitness, checking your step, checking your spring. So I mean, why are they complaining? Why should footballers who are living large, especially top footballers, because championship players don't have this much fixtures to be played? No one really. England hardly calls players from the championship for Euros, for World Cup. Championship teams are not the Club World Cup, so it's just the big teams, and not even just the big teams. 4, 5, 6 teams from each top league that will really complain of fixture congestion. So I mean, what's there to complain about?
Well, there's still a lot to complain about, Josh. First off, you have to take a look at the new format the Champions League is taking, the Conference League is taking, and the Europa League has taken. Even players who play in the Championship might not play a lot of games, but they have a lot of, game time to actually see. A lot of them play about 40 games in just one season against each other.
Just in the league.
Even talking about, yes, and we're not even talking about the cup games that will come in the Carabao, where they all have to play each other before they introduce the big boys from the Premier League into the system for the Carabao or the FA. The FA Cup is still coming up in January. You have the FIFA Club World Cup coming up in June, and yes, I would say these players actually, are spending so much time on the playing pitch. The recovery hours are becoming smaller. We've seen technology beginning to take its place in sports. They're trying to get players to, rejuvenate themselves faster. You see players playing in cold embryo systems and all of that, but it still doesn't take away the fact that these players are human. Yes, they are human, and that's why this season alone, we've seen an astronomical rise in the number of ACLs, MCLs, and more, time-taking injuries to players. Every other week now, you see players just drop to the deck every game, and everybody's giving this hand gesture. You gotta take me out, coach. You have to take me out, coach, because I'm down and I'm out. So it definitely shows you a clear pattern to what these things are doing to these players. Yes, they're superstars. Yes, they're making the box. Yes, they're making the money, but whoever is human, and they need to rest sometime.
Well, Arsenal will be facing a defining week this week as they are set to face Newcastle, Inter Milan, and Chelsea. Mikel Arteta's side must bounce back from a 2-game winless streak in the Premier League. Can Arsenal survive Newcastle this weekend, Chelsea, Inter Milan in the Champions League, and Chelsea next weekend?
Well, for me, it's not a matter of if they can survive. This is the real test of champions. You want to be champions, right? Get ready to face Newcastle, get ready to face Inter Milan, get ready to face Chelsea without any excuses, without any talks whatsoever as to where the game should swing or where the game should not swing. This is an Arsenal side who we've been waiting for to actually lay their hands on some trophies right now. They've had this process. A few of my friends on air talk about Arsenal and Arsenal's process, and they liken it to being a software update. This season it's 1.5, next season it's a 2.5. 2.5. It's like we're having it's like an upgrade. So now this process is at a stage where no matter the team they face week in, week out, no matter the injuries they have week in, week out, Arsenal must deliver the goods when they need to deliver.
Okay, so
either Newcastle, either Inter Milan, either Chelsea. All we want to see, the 3 points, the goals, the flair, some passion, and commitment.
Okay, so still on Arsenal quickly before we move on.
Yes.
If Mikel Arteta does not win the Premier League or the Champions League, did he fail this season?
Well, I wouldn't say he's failed. I'll put it at he's disappointed again. Yes.
Okay.
Because failure would mean there's no progress, there's been no signs of improvement, and there's no steady direction within what he's doing. But we've all seen that within the last 5 years that he's been moving in the right direction.
But then the direction should lead to a significant trophy.
If he doesn't win anything, like in the words of Patrick Evra, I'll agree with him and say yes, Arsenal become the Netflix team where you have to wait for next season and next season. Let's see how it goes. But I do feel and I do know that the Arsenal faithful will begin to clamor for his head if he doesn't win anything this season.
Okay. Thank you, Tosin. In other Premier League games, Bournemouth take on Manchester City, Ipswich against Leicester City, Liverpool will host Brighton, Nottingham against West Ham, Southampton against Everton, Wolves against Crystal Palace, Tottenham Hotspur against Aston Villa, Fulham against Brentford, and like we all talked about, Manchester United against Chelsea. The big one on Sunday. In the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen will take on Stuttgart, Bayern Munich will host Union Berlin, Eintracht Frankfurt will take on Bochum, Hoffenheim against St. Pauli, Wolfsburg against Augsburg, Holstein Kiel against Heidenheim, Dortmund against RB Leipzig, another big game, Freiburg against Mainz, Borussia Mönchengladbach against Werder Bremen. In the Italian Serie A, Bologna will take on Lecce, Juventus will visit Udinese to celebrate their 127th year in existence against Udinese. Monza will host AC Milan, Napoli against Atalanta, first versus third in the Serie A. Torino against Fiorentina, Verona against AS Roma, Inter Milan against Venezia, Empoli against Como, Parma against Genoa, and Lazio against Cagliari. And in the Spanish La Liga, Alaves will take on Mallorca, Osasuna will take on Real Valladolid, Girona will take on Leganés, Atletico Madrid versus Las Palmas, Barcelona will host Espanyol, Catalan derby there, Sevilla against Real Sociedad, Athletic Bilbao against Real Betis, Celta Vigo against Getafe, and the game between Valencia and Real Madrid has been postponed. Tosin, quickly before I let you go, big games. Your winner,
Yeah.
United Chelsea.
My winner for United Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's delicately poised. So, yes, United will be coming with the new manager bounce at Old Trafford, the 12th man and everything. And Chelsea have nothing to fear because everybody expects them to lose anyways at Old Trafford right now. Yes. So I'll go with a draw actually.
A draw.
A 2-2 draw, yes.
2-2
draw for both sides. And a good game for the neutrals. But yes, a draw.
Napoli, Atalanta.
Straight win for Napoli, actually.
Okay.
Straight win for Napoli. They've been playing like a house on fire since I've seen them play. And trust me, Antonio Conte is doing a wonderful, massive job right there. I've seen players like Scott McTominay look like midfield generals in the Serie A right now. So it definitely shows you the kind of quality Antonio Conte wants in his team, the way they play, the 4-3, the 3-4-3 and the wing backs and everything. So yes, I do give that game to them. But not without Atalanta causing a major upset, probably scoring like 2 goals. Scoreline for me, 3-2 Napoli.
Okay. Thank you very much, Oluwatosin, for your incisive analysis. Thank you for your time and coming on Sports Store right here on Enterprise Television.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
And that's how much
to be here.
And that's how much we can take on Sports Store for today. Endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Enterprise TV 7 on YouTube. Click the notification bell to get alerts on our new YouTube videos. Follow us on all our social media platforms. We are Enterprise TV 7 on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Like, share, and engage with our content. And also visit our website, www.enterprisetvnews.com, where we give you all the hot stories on the go, the live updates, the exclusives, and the news you can use. Moreover, if you want to partner with us on Enterprise Television, you want to place your product on our platform, and for all sponsorship and advertising inquiries, kindly send a mail to enterprisetv7@gmail.com or send a DM to our aforementioned social media handles at Enterprise TV 7. And before we go, let's leave you with this quote from the great Michael Jordan. He said, "Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just illusions." End quote. I'm Josh Okoli, and I want to thank you for the privilege of your time. Until we meet again, it's goodbye and #luego.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.